June 10th, 2024. Live streaming from a distant galaxy. This is the world's most controversial podcast, the Doomsy McDoomscroller Show, a philosophical science fiction series featuring realistic futurology and refreshingly heretical commentary on the news. And I suppose today isn't about any one particular news article. And as you can tell from the title, do I know the title of this? I don't know. I broadcast to Earth, across the universe. Somebody does something with it. I think it gets streamed to a platform. I'm not always sure. But pay their fair share in DEI. New slogans for an old fool's errand. Right, and let's get right into it with the DEI. Right, let's start with the I at the end. Inclusion. Okay, so here we go. Let's go here. Click away, and here we are. We just did a Google News search. We are on PFAs. Okay, these are forever chemicals, aptly named because it's ridiculously difficult to get rid of things, these molecules, these forever chemicals. PFAs, and it was reported several years ago that these are everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. Well, everywhere it rains, which is like that's pretty much Earth, right? Everywhere there's precipitation, you have these forever chemicals, these toxic, poisonous, detrimental to everything chemicals. Now, what I wanted to show in here, and as I scroll, and I know, look, you might be thinking, oh, Doomsy, DEI, this is about the workplace. But come on. I mean, we're using the word inclusion here. Right, so maybe we should just address the meaning of this word and how inclusive should anybody expect your culture to be at any phase or level of your lifestyle, of your societies, especially in the USA. And of course, as with every episode, when Doomsy says your culture, I'm talking about your I've been out for over a decade. I got out of Shawshank. Yeah. I'm no longer part of civilized culture. I'm no longer part of the 8 billion strong stampede. Maybe strong isn't the word for it. But 8 billion and growing. I'm not part of that stampede anymore. So yeah, I lump all of you together. And so inclusion, I think this is relevant. You're talking workplace, I'm talking inclusion. Okay, let's look at some of these headlines here. Drinking water has highest contamination levels in these 5 states. Okay, we won't click on that. PFAs are raining down on Lake Superior. Forever chemicals raining down on Lake Superior. Yeah, well, makes sense. Years ago, we found out it's global. It's a global thing. But I guess now this is all the NIMBY thing. Okay, here's how to avoid PFAs and why so many fear forever chemicals. Oh, and here's one. What will the new PFAS law PFAS law. Should be saying PFAs like it's plural, or PFAS. I don't know. What does the new Forever Chemicals law mean for Vermont retailers and consumers? Okay, if you're listening and not viewing, I'm scrolling a Google news search, by the way. So I'm reading you headlines. I'm not going to click on any of these. I'm looking for a specific kind of, let's see. Nearly 19% of water systems tested in Pennsylvania contain forever chemicals at levels above new EPA standards. They're everywhere. New EPA order could lead to Tucson forever chemicals pollution cleanup. So EPA, laws. That'll fix things, right? Everybody knows it won't. New law in Connecticut has unintended consequences, including banning nonstick cookware. Okay, something. Well, I guess I'm not finding what I was looking for, but let's just grant it, okay? Let's just grant that there's been a fix, that technologically, there's some device. And imagine it can be made cheaply, easy to make, and even though it can be made cheaply, it's also sold cheaply. Okay, I know that's even more difficult to imagine, but let's say there's a pretty good job of distribution. Maybe it's made free. Maybe every government considers such a device that removes these forever chemicals from water. Maybe every government considers possession of those things to be a right. Okay? You got a right. You can count on that, huh? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. We got rights. But imagine that. Okay? So everyone now, every one of y'all, anyways, has one of these devices to remove these forever chemicals. What about trout? What about salmon? What about red squirrels, gray squirrels, frogs, beavers? What about every other living thing? How about that? What about even the plants, the other stuff that y'all might even be eating? It might be on your dinner plate. Is that included? Are those creatures included in the distribution of these forever chemical solutions? No. So that's your culture, right? That's your culture. That's what y'all do. You spew your filth all over the entire planet, and then you pat yourself on the back, congratulate yourself for the ingenuity of coming up with some kind of device that can get rid of the forever chemicals in a glass of your drinking water. That doesn't sound very inclusive to me. This is F every other species. I mean, who thinks every human would have one of those anyways? Much less every civilized human. Definitely every human won't. It's hard to find non-civilized humans on Earth anymore, but that's not going to be. But everyone's going to be included. You're going to have 8 billion of these devices, of these hypothetical devices that gets rid of the forever chemicals. Okay, imagine that you do. Well, what about every other creature? They're not included. So here you are, you got the DEI. Oh, at the workplace, inclusion. Let's be inclusive. Inclusive with what? What are you including? What can you hope to conclude that could possibly improve things? Because while you're worried about what diversity, equity, and inclusion in your little workplace, really, y'all are just talking about giving the illusion of fairness to your pyramid builders. You just want the stone draggers to feel a little bit better. It's a fool's errand. Inclusive. Well, it's not an inclusive society. A lifestyle that doesn't. Let's get to equity. We got diversity, equity, inclusivity. Just a slogan. Fool's errand. It's a fool's errand because it's impossible. It's never going to happen. Equity? Equal? 8 billion stone draggers and what? You got 1 million neo-pharaohs. I don't know what the actual number is. You got plenty. So, equity? Well, what kind of equity are you expecting? What could you possibly, as long as you got millionaires, I mean, do we even have to get to the billionaire level of the term filthy rich? So that's part of the, pay their fair share. Yeah, okay, Biden. Yeah. Get those billionaires to pay their fair share. What could possibly be fair? What amount would possibly be fair? What could even approach fairness? Because whatever they're thinking about, whatever one political party, whatever their goal is for paying their fair share, you're still going to have the neo-pharaohs. You're still going to have the millionaires, the billionaires. Yeah, just a few percentage points. They don't want to part with it, right? Taxes or whatever. Really would not affect their lifestyle one iota. So even if they're paying their fair share, does that really change anything? Is it going to change anything? Still going to have kings, queens. You still got royalty. Still going to have an upper, noble class of people, and then you still got the masses and masses of commoners and peasants, the billions at the bottom of the socioeconomic hierarchies. But what? After some election or after some tax bill you pass, yay! They're gonna pay their fair share. What? What is fair? What could possibly be a fair amount? You got these guys, these neo-pharaohs. They're putting themselves in these phallic-shaped vehicles and shooting themselves up off into low Earth orbit on joyrides, getting trips for their celebrity friends. Although, look, if you're gonna have a celebrity friend go up in low Earth orbit, give that ticket to William Shatner. Why not? He's Captain Kirk. But come on, man. Is that ever going to be fair? See, here's the thing. Here's why woke is kind of meaningless. Woke is kind of meaningless because for one, some people think that, well, okay, before I get going here, let's define it. Right, let's define what it means to be woke. Yeah, I don't know why it's so difficult to, but there was some MAGA person wrote a book. I think it had woke in the title or something, and they got on the TV with some talking head who asked them, what is woke, and they couldn't define it, which is weird. They read a whole book on it. You can't define it. Pretty simple definition. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of. All right, let's see. Woke. How about this? What is woke? How about an awareness of systemic unfairness? All right, can we agree to that definition? Someone is aware of unfairness in the system of society, of a culture, of your culture. You can call that woke. Okay, I'm not going to get into the grammar problems I have with that or the issues that. Let's just accept it. Okay, woke. Okay, so someone's woke, so someone's has awareness of systemic unfairness. Well, Lottie frickin' da. So, what? That's nothing new. How could that possibly? That's not a new thing. Maybe the term. Maybe someone coined this term, woke. But I would think, plenty of people thought the system was unfair, going back thousands of years. I mean, you can go back really far. Weren't there? I mean, the reason you got labor unions, and wasn't that a woke thing? Way back, a little bit the start of the Industrial Revolution. There's nothing new with that. So, is it significant? What does it mean to be? I mean, listen, your culture is about 10,000, 12,000 years old. Modern humans, anatomically modern humans, Homo sapiens, right? Modern people, exactly like you, been on Earth for 300,000 years. 300,000. Your culture, 10 to 12,000. 10 to 12,000 years. And we know how civilized culture has spread. I mean, the modus operandi is pretty straightforward. The standard operating procedure of Holy War agriculturalists or farmers is genocide and slavery. That's been going on for 10, 12,000 years, since the beginning of your culture. So when that started, when the Cains started killing the Abels, when the genocide and slavery started there in the Fertile Crescent, you had to figure there was some woke people, right? 10,000 years ago, there were woke people. They were woke. They believed that getting mass murdered and enslaved. You got to figure that some of them concluded that's unfair. Like the constitutional peasant on Monty Python. Come and see the violence inherent in the system, you bloody peasant. Remember, 10,000, 12,000 years. So equity. Okay, other people. So woke. That's why it's not much of anything. People who think woke isn't a thing at all, or maybe people aren't aware of the systemic unfairness. Maybe they believe it's fair. Yeah, sure. There's a lot of people who. Why not? Why wouldn't there be? For 10, 12,000 years, the mythology of civilized culture has been telling you that it's fair. And if you aren't going to accept that, well, okay. Well, then just accept the fact life isn't fair. But this unfairness, this socioeconomic hierarchy, this pyramid building, this pharaoh cultivating, that's the definition of humanity. That's what it means to be human. Right? So ain't no sense in being woke about it. It's just existence, can't change it. So why complain about it? So you got people who are aware of the inequity and unfairness. You got a bunch of people who think it's fair, or they want to believe it's fair. Because, I don't know, maybe freedom, It's better odds of getting struck by lightning than somehow hitting a lottery or building a pyramid that gets you up to pharaoh level yourself. But hey, freedom to dream about becoming royalty, right? But inequity, that's baked into the cake. How is that going to change? You got a slogan now. Oh, there's a new policy at work, at the office. DEI. Yeah, this is going to fix things. We'll all come together, give each other a hug. You people who are in a society that has its foundations in genocide and slavery. We're talking every society, every country. All that genocide and slavery on North America that happened just centuries ago, that wasn't a new thing. That wasn't that wasn't holy war agriculturalists coming from Europe over to North America, and these farmers, going, let's get with the marketing department, see if we can come up with some new advertising campaign to spread this lifestyle. How are we going to spread this lifestyle? Is there a way we can do it more efficiently? Is there a way we can get more bang for our buck? No, the genocide and slavery, that had been going on for 10,000 years. Ain't nothing different there. Just a continuation. There were not any other methods used to spread civilized culture around the globe. That is the standard operating procedure. So, don't let people hate on America for the genocide and slavery. America's not special in that. The USA. So equity, that's just ridiculous. It's a fool's errand. It's never going to happen in civilized culture. It's a fool's errand. You got this new slogan for a 10,000-year-old futile effort at trying to get fairness out of pyramid building and warmongering. Not going to happen. Pay their fair share. We're going to get them to pay their fair share. Okay, that was my fair share. Let's see, couple $1 billion. Here you go. Yeah, I still got, $17 billion, says the Pharaoh. Let's take, for example, one of the top neo-pharaohs, that Musk guy, right? Elon Musk complains about a woke mind virus. Woke mind virus. Woke mind virus? What is he talking about? There's no such thing as a woke mind virus. Virus has the ability to change the world. As everyone experienced just a few years ago, right? Little virus. Got the Rona running rampant globally. You know, a virus has an impact. Well, so what is this woke mind virus going around? A virus is something that can spread pretty fast. Something goes viral. So what went viral? What change has there been? All these people being woke or angry about someone else being woke, or so everyone's still building pyramids. Warmongering continues. The pharaoh fostering continues. And nothing's changed. Woke mind virus. The revolution. That virus. That real virus. The revolution is happening now. It's happening now. Lots of people are ready for something new. Because it's not enough just to be aware of systemic unfairness. That's not enough. For 10,000 years, for 12,000 years, now people have thought getting killed by conquerors, by maniacs who think they can conquer a planet, getting killed by them or enslaved by them, that's an unfair system. That's, I guarantee you, people have been thinking that since the dawn of holy war agriculture. So an actual mind virus, an actual idea virus, yeah, that will actually, that will bring down civilized. That is how cultures are abandoned. And there's nothing to wait for, but I think just, mathematics and physics being what it is, that eventually it'll hit some critical mass and exponentially it'll go, and within 10, 15 years, the abandonment of civilized culture will be obvious throughout the course of a decade until it's just left behind. Right, so always remember, that's like part of the good news that Doomsy brings to his podcast is civilized culture is coming to an end. And that's good news for every living thing on the planet. Okay, maybe maybe the neo-pharaohs, maybe they would say it's bad news. They have this delusion of godhood. But for every other living thing on the planet, the end of your culture is something to be celebrated. Because it sucks for most people, for the vast majority of people. And the vast majority of people are good. You better believe it's going to happen. It has to happen. The revolution. It's that or extinction. Okay. All right, so we covered inclusion, which is really about exclusion, or inclusion. God, it's so ridiculous. Inclusion. With the D, diversity. Okay, that would be almost laughable. That would be almost laughable if it just wasn't so pathetic and sad. Okay, here's what I mean. Diversity. And here's why diversity, it's a fool's errand. It's a fool's errand. It's a new slogan for an old fool's errand. Diversity. It's just another word for, the false fairness that's being promoted. Diversity? What are you people talking about? What is diverse about your population? Your population went from 1 billion to 2 billion, and 47 years after it was 2 billion, 47 years after it was 2 billion, it was 4 billion. Your culture. And now, 47 years after that, your culture numbers 8 billion. 8 billion people of civilized culture. Doesn't seem very diverse to me. Oh, you're talking subculture. Subcultures. Okay, subcultures. So you want to get people in your workplace that that cook this for dinner or cook that for dinner? Or have a different first language? I mean, that's all you're talking about. Diversity in what? We certainly aren't talking about diversity in lifestyle. Y'all live the same way. You're all dragging stones. You're all building pyramids. Y'all gotta work, or you don't eat. Now, you say, oh, what? Of course, what? That's just fact of life. But no, for 300,000 years, it was never that way. For 300,000 years. Before civilized culture, people had dinner parties, they had fashion, they had sports, entertainment. Oh yeah, they had fights, even battles. But no one had to worry about conquerors. No one had to worry about societies that were hell-bent on genocide and slavery, building pyramids. For 300,000 years, people lived with no prisons, no schools, no retirement communities. For 300,000 years, people lived without the fear of losing a job. And now, you got 8 billion people worried about losing a job. Or they're having their own little pyramid collapsing or something like that. Diversity. Y'all have the same lifestyle. the difference is it's just minutia. That's not really significant at all. Look, it's just way too late. I mean, it's just the bullshit from your cultural mythology. You know, it's got us neck deep. Look at this. Oh, look at this podcast. I'll describe this to you, all right? Okay, here is Native American tribes map, U.S. history. Here's a more meaningful map. Okay, a lot of info on this. Look at all these. Well, yeah, listen to all these names. Hopi, I can't even pronounce. It looks like there's 1,000 names on this map of North America, and these are all hunter-gatherer tribal peoples. These are tribes. These are nations. This is a beautiful map. For thousands of years, these people lived on North America like this. Here's a school map. This seems like a gross oversimplification. But even on this, you know, if you had this hanging in your school, you got Chinook, Yakima, Nez Perce, Pomo. I know I'm just hacking some of these names with pronunciation, and I'm sorry if I Inuit, Aleut, Tlingit, Navajo, Pueblo, Apache, Cheyenne, Arapaho, Pawnee, Sioux, Comanche, Shoshone, Paiute, Miami, Shawnee, Cherokee, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Creek, Seminole, Massachusetts, Iroquois. So that's diversity. That's what was there. You had diversity for thousands of years, many thousands of years. So you're a little too late to the party to want diversity. Your culture killed a dozen million women and children. Diversity. We're talking your culture, remember? So DEI. Joke, diversity. Look at this, distribution of mammals on Earth. Let's just look at mammals. Okay, it's this chart here, wild mammals. 4% of the biomass of the Earth is wild mammals. Humans are 34% of global mammal biomass. And the rest is livestock. Livestock. So, food for people of your culture. So, 96% of mammalian life, or I think even it's 10% of all wildlife, extend beyond mammals. I guess the biggest animals, right? Mammals tend to be. Going beyond just mammals, talking wildlife, creatures, animals, 10%. 10% of animals on Earth are not humans or not human food. Only 10%. Diversity, long gone. Long gone. You're way past that. So you think you're gonna fix it? Some workplace policy? It's a joke. Yeah. What's not a joke? What's gonna fix it? The abandonment of civilized culture. Because really, what's in it? What's in it for Gen Alpha's kids? What's in it for them? This has been the Doomsy McDoomscroller Show. www.doomsymcdoomscroller.com. Thank you for listening.